Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just click the link in the show description to support now.
Welcome back to Super Chevy Brothers podcast. This is episode, I don't know, what'd you name this? This is wrong. Don't worry about the episode number. All you need to do, all you need to know is that it is March. We're past the Ides. The Ides are gone. Today is the 22nd, a glorious day of God. Which God? What? Well, that's up to you. It's up to you to decide. We don't care.
Hey,
we don't.
I have
care.
a quick question.
Why don't
you just tell us? Why don't you just tell us what the episode number is? We're going like 10 episodes straight. Are you not just telling us what the?
I told this episode last time.
What the deal
so
is.
I think I might have refreshed.
You said a bunch of. You said a bunch of garbled noise. That was how you described
that was
the name of the
two
episode.
Episodes ago. Last time
what
I
did you say
have
last
an episode
time?
number.
Then what was it last time?
I mean, you don't remember? Did you expect me to remember?
No, because I recorded that, and then I also listened to like 10 podcasts from other people since then. So no, I don't remember.
Interesting.
You're doing a lot of filler work for somebody who knows the episode number.
So it's I know the episode number. The episode number is 180. 180. There's 180.
Okay.
I don't know why you don't know that.
Wow, he actually said it.
I don't know why you don't understand what number it is. You should. That's something you should know. So get your shit together, brother. Okay. Speak a little louder into that mic too. All right.
Shut up. You the one who did the audio thing. Why do I gotta?
Yeah, but now you whispering. You're yelling at me. You're yelling at me like. Now you're talking
whispering?
Like Sade.
What are you talking about? Whispering.
I'm just saying you Sade in the mic right now.
What are you talking about?
What did you do this week?
These nuts. No, I had some fun this week. I played some games. I did some stuff. I was at work most of the time. I'm not gonna lie. It has been chaotic hell, and also trying to talk with my landlord about how his contractors are definitely stealing people's stuff in the apartment complex. That's been kind of fun. But games. Oh man,
hold on. What they steal from you, Doug?
My wife got a package from a friend that probably got stolen by one of the contractors who's in and out of this place. Who they smoke and drink while they are doing things inside of apartments. But the landlord's very confident they didn't do it because he's been working with them for years and they would never do something like this.
Is it a no vape area?
Literally, nigga, what?
I mean, you said they're smoking and drinking.
Did you listen to what I just said?
I know. I'm going one by one.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So, Shavar, when you pay a contractor to do something, do you want them smoking and drinking while they do it?
Depends if they're contracted to do so. I'm sure they're not. But I'm just
if they're contracted to smoke and drink, Shavar? I have a really serious question. Are you retarded? Like, are we playing a game now? Like, are we joking? Like, what's going on there?
Look, I'm sure somebody's been paid to smoke and drink every day somewhere on the planet at some time.
Anyway, thank you for not listening and using this to get off your Type 5 comedy jokes. So that's been kind of annoying, but we've been living, we've been surviving. I've been playing games as well when I get a chance to. I played Yote a lot more. Got through some story missions. Got through a couple story missions. Got to the stuff with her brother and everything. That's a spoiler for you. You're not more than 5 minutes into the game. But
that's not true.
It's good.
Well,
I've been
more than 5 minutes in the game to see that, but okay.
It's like you meet him in like the third mission. Like it's anyway.
Well, no,
really.
If you go after the Kitsune, you can not meet him for like 6 hours.
Oh well, that sucks for you if you listen to this. Anyway, I'm with the brother right now. You know, doing all that stuff. So that's how that's been going. Solid game, really fun game. The combat is still like leagues better than the first one. I'm just looking to dig into it more. I haven't really played it, sat down and played it for more than an hour. Since like a few weeks ago, I was literally mid cutscene for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then I finally finished the cutscene and then went into the next mission. So that was good. I also played more RE2 on stream, Resident Evil 2. I'm going to play that more, but last time I played it, I could not get much further than I wanted to because I don't like I don't like to play. I like horror games. I don't like to play horror games in the middle of the night. And if I'm playing in the middle of the night, I need to have a person with me. Well, let me scratch that. I'll play a scary game at nighttime. I can't do it by myself though. It's not fun to me, right? So I was streaming. Shavar told me he was going to show up. He never did.
I did. I watched.
And no, you didn't. You didn't show up. And
what do you mean I didn't show up? I was there. I was literally
you literally weren't there. I heard nothing from you voice wise. You said you were going to talk to me. You were not there.
Yeah, because the voice wouldn't work. Sorry,
yeah. Anyway, so
he didn't open Discord.
I got a little further, then I got to the part where Mr. X comes up, and I just didn't feel like dealing with that shit at the moment. I'm gonna go back and play it probably this week. I don't want to deal with the scary man chasing me through a fucking police station. Like that's not what I signed up for. Well, it is what I signed up for, but it's not what I was wanting to do at 1 a.m. In the middle of the fucking night with nobody watching, because like I would rather watch if I was doing that. If my wife was up, sure, even if she was across the room, across the house doing something else. If my brother was actually online and supporting me like he said he would, I would have kept going. But
I was definitely online.
He was not. Shavar was in the chat.
I was
responding.
Literally watching.
You can go check the chat log. Shavar said something every like 25 minutes, so I don't know what he's talking about. That's not being there for the stream.
I was literally watching you.
Are you gonna keep making excuses? Are you gonna keep interrupting me to make excuses?
It's not excuses. Like, I was there. You saying something that's factually not correct,
bro. I haven't finished telling the story. You keep interrupting me to explain that you were there when you weren't there.
I was
okay. So Shavar wasn't there. He was driving or something at 1 a.m. I don't know what he was doing, but
smoking and drinking. As I was paid to do, by the way. Continue.
Yeah, drinking and driving instead of being on the stream with me, right? So, wow, the story would have gotten a lot faster if you'd stopped interrupting me. Anyway, I stopped playing early and I played something else. So, I will go back to RE2 this week. It was really good. It's a great game. I'm just not the type of person to play something like that in a dark room in the middle of the night by myself. For a stream where people are supposed to be watching me. I would have logged off and played by myself, but at that point I'm good. I would just rather wait the next day. So like I even played a little bit the next day and then I just turned it off for a little bit. I was like, okay, at least I know what to do now. But I'm trying to play it on stream. That's the point. I would at this point I don't play it enough on stream. I would rather just beat the game and play it. But I might just keep a save for stream and we can go through that on stream. But I might play it on my own and beat it because I really like the game and I want to play it, but I don't want to have to wait until I get on stream every time to play it. But Shavar, you let me down. Next time you're not gonna actually be there. Just say.
No, you cannot blame that on me. I was there. I was in the chat. I was telling you I was there.
You literally were not there.
I was watching.
You gotta stop saying you were. You literally weren't.
I was there. Anyway, I was. While I was watching you freak out and force close the game because you got so scared, I saw there's a quote from the guy who directed Resident Evil 2. He said he wishes they would take the scary parts out. They'd have a mode of the game where the scary parts are gone, so you can just play the game without the scary bits. And
yeah, I'll correct that for you. That was the director of RE2 talking about the original Resident Evil 2. Talking about Resident Evil 9. That's what that quote's about.
Yeah, same thing though. It's scary stuff.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. You were saying the director of the game said they should take the scary parts out. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the guy who made RE2 said RE9 is too scary.
I would imagine
he probably would think he probably would think that RE2 remake was too scary as well, because that game's fucking scary. But yeah, no, I just I really like it. I think the game holds up really well. It's not that old, right? Like it's less than 10 years old or whatever. It came out in like 2019 or something. But really solid.
Stuff up,
I see exactly the type of like stuff this game obviously took notes from like, you know, Resident Evil 4, like the original one. It took notes from Dead Space, and then they kind of like fit some of that stuff into the original Resident Evil 2 formula, because like it's still very much a Resident Evil game. You got to get this to go here, you got to memorize all the layouts and stuff like that. So like where I'm at in the game right now, I just got to Mr. X for the first time, and I think I'm trying to get the power back on in the jail. So I'm trying to go back to the jail and put one of these power things in and try to get that going. I think there's 2 parts though. So I'm trying to find the second part. I need to go back up to where I fell off the ladder before I met Mr. X, so I can grab that gear and then take it somewhere. I don't know where to take it, but I'm supposed to take that gear. So I'm going to do that next time I get on. But no, great game. I also played Absalom for the first time. I played a few. Yeah, I'm going to run through these. I played a couple of new games.
All right, get
Absalom.
Through them,
wow, get through them on the gaming podcast.
I'm joking. Oh my God. Chill, go.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
You said you like this game.
So I played Absalom. Absalom is it's a beat 'em up / roguelike. I would say the easiest roguelike to compare it to, or roguelite rather, to compare it to is Hades. Very well animated, made by .emu, the same guys who I'm pretty sure did one of the. Let me see. I'm getting them confused. They either did the TMNT games. Yeah, they did the Shredder's Revenge, one of the last TMNT beat 'em ups. They also did
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Rage
Turtles
4.
For those who don't live in a sewer.
Exactly. Streets of Rage 4 and Windjammers 2, right? So all solid games. They decided this is the original IP. Long story short, there were a bunch of witches and stuff. They were doing witch things. They flew too close to the sun and then exploded a bunch of stuff on accident. And then fascists came in to enslave them and take over while the power struggle was happening, while the power like vacuum was there. So you play as one of the factions that is known for doing magic, and is trying to like, you know, usurp the fascist ruler or whatever, right? So it's 4 players. I think 4 players total, but you can play a single player, and yeah, it's got all the upgrade stuff. Every time you finish a fight, you get like, you know, do you want to add this to your dash? Do you want your attacks to do flame damage? Do you want your strong attacks to do this? It's got a parry. You can parry enemies' attacks. You can clash with enemy attacks using your skills. But basically, you start a run out, and your goal is to get as far as you can and kill the boss, and then get to the next boss and kill that boss, right? Kind of like I said, just like Hades. Like you finish different biomes or areas, kill the boss, and then move on to the next area, right? I've so far haven't finished the first biome yet, but I fought both of the mini bosses in both biomes and beat them, because you can choose different branching paths. But yeah, it's a 4-player co-op beat 'em up, single player optional, online as well. Beautiful game. I think this is probably the best looking game they've made in that 2D style. It makes Streets of Rage 4 look like ugly, even though Streets of Rage 4 is also a very pretty game. It looks the same in the cutscenes as it does when you're playing it. It really like awesome animation.
Are you playing
Backgrounds are really cool. PS5. Okay. Yeah, I'm playing on PS5. And yeah, it is the difficulty. The difficulty is there. It's not like a super easy game. I know that beat 'em ups can be easy, but if you play Streets of Rage 4, you can kind of expect where the difficulty will lie there. You know, there are also a lot of assist options, but you can't use them online. But there are assist options you can use to make the game a little easier.
Is it multiplayer?
Did I say that already?
I may have missed it. It's a question. What's wrong?
Yes,
dog?
I said 4-player. The first thing I said was 4-player co-op. Dog, catch up. And yes, right, it is multiplayer.
You gotta chill. All right, man.
Very, very first thing I said was that it's co-op.
I know, but you be talking for 2 straight minutes, so I can't like write down everything. I just ask the question.
I know, because you're a fucking you're a Gen Zer apparently, and you can't pay attention for more than 2 minutes. Yes, Shavar, it's co-op. You have any other questions before I continue?
No, get going, dog. You good? Good, man. You're good, brother. It's all good, man.
You done? Okay. So I recommend this one. It's pretty good. I had a lot of fun with it. I only got maybe one run in, but like a lot of the combat is very much fighting game inspired. You can like punish them, you like punish enemies on their like, ending frames for their moves. You can parry stuff. You can do a lot of air combos. Air combos help you build up your meter, which you can use to do your super. So you can do multiple supers in a combo if you can keep it going long enough. If you're really good, you can kill some bosses in one long combo. I almost did that one time, but definitely made to be played in co-op. You can play the single player. You can probably beat it in single player too, and I plan on doing that. But it's definitely like made for like the game pushes you to do online mode multiple times. Like there are literally NPCs who will go, "Hey, you should go over there and check out the multiplayer mode." I haven't touched it yet, but I do plan to try online later. But yeah, really, really solid. I'm surprised I haven't heard many people talking about it because it literally is like Hades, but a beat 'em up. Like if like let's say you don't like that gameplay style of Hades, but you like the ability to like kind of roll upgrades together and get these weird synergies that kind of make a lot of things happen. But you also really like Streets of Rage or like beat 'em up games like that. This is the game for you. Like it's really good. So far I've only unlocked 2 characters. There's the dwarf guy and this like the one I've been playing is this like elf woman with a sword. But yeah, super fun. And the game explains like the whole rebirth thing, right? Because you're in this war to stop this guy, but the first thing you do in the game is save the woman who allows you to die over and over. Because every time you die, she just rebirths you. You can come back. You upgrade your permanent stats, and then you can go back out. Gets a little easier every time. You kind of learn all the enemy patterns. The environments don't repeat exactly. If you pick a different path or the same path, you'll get like the same boss at the end, but the rooms themselves won't be the exact same, which is kind of nice. But yeah, no, really good game. I think it's like $25 or something like that. Go check that out. And I also played. Damn, what else did I play? I know I played something else. Oh god damn it!
Jumanji.
Anyway,
Monopoly.
No, I didn't play no fucking
Uno.
Jumanji. Okay, whatever, it's fine.
You
weren't actually trying to help me, by the way. If you were, you're trying to throw things out there. That sounds like shit that I'm playing on the PlayStation. That sounds like stuff I'm playing on the PlayStation. It's fucking Monopoly.
Well, Monopoly. Let's see. Did you? Was it a action game? Was it a online game?
Just stop. And I'll talk about this later too, but because it's a news topic. But I'm gonna go revisit some Switch games because Nintendo put out this cool update for the Switch 2 that kind of makes the Switch 1 actually almost obsolete now. So yeah, but that was what I played. I played RE2, played RE2 twice this week. I didn't even talk about the first time I played RE2 this week. So yeah, I got significantly further into the game. I got into the basement. I unlocked I put the medallions in. I got under the place. Got to the dogs, had to shoot a couple dogs, got to Ada, who won't tell me her last name. I definitely don't know what her last name is.
But she wants you to get it wrong.
And I'm getting up there soon. I got back up from the basement. So that's where I'm at, and then I met Mr. X. So that was 2 times playing this week. The second time I didn't get as much stuff done. I'm sorry. Even though I'm talking about it's kind of embarrassing, I didn't feel like playing by myself a game I've never played before, terrified, nobody there with me, so I just stopped playing. If I'm gonna do something like that, I would rather just hop off stream and play something I actually like to play, not in the middle of the night, and that's exactly what I did. So yeah, what did you do this week?
All right, brother, I did a lot this week. All right, well, let's start with the let's start with the meta. Okay, start with the meta. I went outside in the sun, really do stuff. And either where they smoke and drink, sometimes all day, sometimes every day, contracted or not. I heard, so I was at a wrestling show. I went to a wrestling event. Went to Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, which is all girls wrestling, quote unquote, league where people wrestle. It was wrestling. It was fun. The girls were great. The main event was very good. They had we watched 15 different girls wrestle. and they wrestled good. You know, it was fun. People jumped off turnbuckles and they jumped off the TV or the fucking stage entrances, and they were doing fucking Tekken moves. Literally, like I saw like 10 King. Like, you know, what's the thing King does where he gets you and then he rolls you around and then he, you know.
They didn't do that. You kill somebody with
Absolutely
that.
Absolutely
did that. Come on now.
They grabbed somebody, got grabbed by the legs and spun around the ring while a bunch of otaku cheered, and then they threw him out the ring. It was great. There was a woman on a bike with flat tires. It was amazing. Good times. All right, good times. Very fun. They made lots of money. I'm sure they'll come back. They were here for South by Southwest because, you know, everything's in Texas for South by Southwest, and I guess we decided.
I was about to say y'all are nowhere near that. That's crazy.
If we're gonna go to, we're gonna fly all the way across the planet. Like literally halfway across the planet, and you know, do one place. We might as well do 3 places. So they did Austin, South by Southwest thing. I'm sure. I don't know if they had like a couple of shows or one show. I'm sure it's a couple because South by Southwest is like 2 weeks long. And then they came here and they're going to Houston. I'm guessing because it's easier to fly out of Houston, but yeah, so they came. It was fun. You had all the stereotypes of wrestlers. You had like the big tough girls. You had the cute idol women. You had the best genius woman, and you had the love woman, and you had the Kabakura girl, and it was great. It was a good time. You know, It was definitely a Gen Z event. I mean, there's.
What do you mean by that?
Just listening to the conversations around me, like there were a bunch of there's like a group of guys who came behind me, and there were 3. There's like 3 or 4 guys behind me. I didn't like turn around and look, but 3 or 4 guys behind me came together, and they came with like. One of them came with like their girlfriend or something, and you know, they're having a great time. It's wrestling, okay? Everyone knows about the legitimacy of it. It's a show. It's for entertainment. It's not there to be like, you know,
what?
They're sitting there like, you know, sometimes, you know, you're watching and someone slaps a guy or a person they didn't really slap him or whatever. The blow didn't really land, and so they're making fun of that, which is normal, but like. When you go to a wrestling thing, after that wears off, we're like, oh shit, this is like not real stuff. You get into like, oh, well, everyone knows it's not real. You're not like a fucking genius for figuring out that it's not real. The whole point is to be there and be a part of the show that it is real, right? You just cheer and have a good time. So
no, but
one
they're
of the
smarter
guys
than everybody.
Is like,
sure, they're way smarter than everybody. You don't get it.
Yeah, well, one of the guys is like, so like. I don't know, but like, I know it's not real, but do they know who's gonna win? I mean, before the thing, do they like decide in the ring? The other guy's like,
we're not sending our brightest.
I got to figure out if they do bets on this stuff. This is pretty fun. And I'm like, okay.
Oh no.
And so I'm like, okay, these guys, I don't even have to look at them. I can hear just from that line there. Okay, these guys were born in the 2000s for sure. Okay, like we know that they were born after the 9/9. Okay, that's a juvenile reference if you didn't know. And so later on, so it's a wrestling thing. People do wrestling stuff. People are like chants and whatever. And of course, the Ric Flair chant. Yeah, people are like woo, and people do that, right? The guys behind me like, oh, they're doing the Ric Flair thing. Like, yeah, the Ric Flair thing. The other guy's like, Ric Flair thing? Like, the woo is like, oh, yeah. And he goes, the first guy goes, yeah, man, like, when did that start? Was that like on, like, who started that? Was that Kill Tony? Did Kill Tony start that? That woo thing? That Ric Flair thing? Did Kill Tony start that Ric Flair woo thing? And the guy next to him says, no, Ric Flair started the Ric Flair thing. Like, what kind of question is that? Who started the Ric Flair woo? I don't know. Maybe Ric Flair? Why would Kill Tony?
Yeah,
Kill Tony hasn't started anything except like a fucking
racism.
Yeah, Kill Tony invented racism.
He invented racism. That's what Kill Tony is like. I don't know what
has Kill Tony ever invented? It's like I don't know. Anyway, it was fine. It was a good time. They had the VIP tickets. We got pretty good seats, and the girls were all, super entertaining, whatever. And then
nice. I'm glad you got to see some women beat each other up. That's fun.
I did. That's all the legal stuff I can tell you about. I went at home. I played some games. I played some Legends, all alone. I was alone. I almost done with the campaign, all alone. No one plays with me.
I explained this to you last week. We don't have to go over this again.
I played with Dan. He got in there. He played with me. We leveled him up a bit. We did this and that, and then I had to leave. Because I got stuff to do, unfortunately. Outside of that, I didn't really play anything else. Just play Little Legends, It's a good game. It's fun. They did have some improvements. I think there's some combat improvements for sure. I think there's some leveling up improvements. And I think they made a good decision. Make sure you can switch weapons between all the characters, and you unlock them as you go. And it's fun. So once you get one character going, at first you feel like, oh, I don't want to start a new guy, but you do want to try them all. But because so much of your equipment can be shared between the different characters or classes, it's pretty easy to level them up. They did do an update so that there was kind of a problem where you would go into like a gold survival match, So it's like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and something else, nightmare or something. And the game doesn't stop you from going into a match type once you've unlocked it. So to unlock gold, you have to complete a silver mission 3 times. To unlock silver, you have to complete a bronze mission 1 time and stuff like that. But you can still be under-leveled, and it'll tell you, oh, you're 50 levels below the recommended level. But people will still join those higher levels and hope that other people carry them so that at the end they get higher rewards, and then you can level up faster. That's what people were doing. They would have 3, if you have friends, the 3 friends with the highest numbers would bring in the guy with the lowest numbers so that he can get stuff. And then other people were doing it with randoms, which is very annoying to have someone dying constantly. And you have to run back and save them and run back and save them. And it's not because they're playing. It's because they absolutely can't play at all. Like, they get hit once and they're dead. So they updated it so the level differences are bigger now. So people don't think, oh, I can maybe do it. I'm only 10 under. The level differences are bigger. And there's a requirement on some of them. So you have to be at least 70. You have to be at least this to do it. Which is good. I haven't even done a gold mission yet, just because I'm like 25, 30 levels below. No, maybe 10 or 15 now. But, but it's good. It's good. It's fun. It's fun.
Good.
All right, so
you need to get around to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But somebody instead wanted to go get scared at some Resident Evil. That's okay.
It wouldn't have mattered anyway. You wasn't playing.
Are you gonna be streaming again? I was there, dog. I was there.
I'll probably play again this week, maybe Tuesday or something. But I gotta get through that part. I know he's not gonna go away, but I want to beat the game. I want to get
your
through
streaming schedule now or not yet?
I mean, I maybe I don't want to commit to it, on a recording, but maybe.
Huh? You think I'm recording you, huh?
I know you are. What are you talking about? Are you okay?
I don't know. I usually don't walk into rooms and talk to my homeboys thinking they're recording me. But that's okay.
I'm not walking into a room. We're in Discord and you... Anyway, yeah, no. I think I'm going to try to stream on Tuesdays. Oh, okay.
Okay, so Tuesdays is a maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet, but probably. It depends. My schedule's in limbo, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think I did anything else last week. I think that was it. I don't think I watched anything crazy either. Got a massage yesterday. That was fun. But yeah, nothing.
Okay,
nothing
we
too crazy.
come on, brother. We don't need to know about that.
Crazy. Well, you just told me about wrestling. Okay, whatever. You
I wouldn't talk
the
about that kind of wrestling. I wouldn't talk about wrestling. All right, that's not what I would talk about.
I said I got a massage. I didn't say I fucked somebody. What are you talking about?
Whoa, this is a PG-13 podcast, brother.
Whatever. Never mind. That's why I didn't talk about my week. We're good. I told you about the video games. It's what you want. It's what you wanted to hear. It's fine. No, it's okay. Go ahead. I have more to say about Resident Evil. I thought you would have had more to say too, since you watched me last week. But it's fine. We could talk about it next time. What we got on the docket?
Oh, what do you want to say about Resident Evil?
I don't know. I had a whole other person watching me earlier. I thought you have something to say, but it sounds like you don't.
No, I mean, I had stuff to say. I thought you usually cut me off when I'm like interjecting that. So I thought, let him get his thing down. I mean, you were doing better than the first time. And then you kind of got lost, running in circles, didn't know where to go. I guess you looked at a guide or something, kind of got back on track. That's
not what happened. You get see. I'm not trying to be mean. No, you don't know what's going on. I got lost last time because it had been 3 weeks since I played the game.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So for the first like 20, that's not what you said. You said the end of the stream of the one before I got lost. No. At the beginning of my stream last week, I was lost for like 30 minutes.
No. Hold on. At the end of your first stream, at the end of your first stream, you got kind of stuck trying to figure out where do I go next.
No, I even watched it the other day, Shavon. That's not what happened. I ended the stream because I ended the stream. I was done with it. I got lost this time because I didn't play the game for 3 weeks. That's what happened.
No one's arguing with that.
This time.
No one.
Yes, and I'm saying I'm arguing with you about it because I did not get lost before the end of the stream. I knew exactly where I was going before the end of the stream. Then I didn't play for 3 weeks, and then I got back on. I didn't know what I was doing, but I didn't end the stream because I didn't know what I was doing, or because I was like lost. No, I had stopped because it was like 3 a.m. and I had to go to sleep. I wasn't lost. I was lost at the beginning because it had been so long. Just clarifying.
Okay. So what else did you have?
All right, bro. Get to the topics. It's all right. We don't have to do this. Just get to the topics.
All right, Broski.
You're not interested. It's okay.
I am. Okay, done.
Round 1. Fight.
So you
I asked you your
this
opinion, and then you didn't tell me nothing. Right.
Well, I was in the middle of it until you disagreed with it, the framing. Anyway, you were talking about some Switch update on the Switch 2, which invalidates, it obsoletizes the Switch 1. Well, tell me about that.
Obsoletizes the Switch 1. Right. So this week, Nintendo updated both the Switch and Switch 1. I'm sorry, Switch 2 and Switch 1 consoles. And the more important one, which I don't know why they didn't advertise it more, I feel like they should have made this a big deal, is that there's now handheld boost mode for Nintendo Switch 2. So what that means is that for Nintendo Switch 2, for Switch 1 games, it will play them as if they are docked. So it will play Switch 1 games as if like you were playing it on your Switch 1 docked on a television, but you can do it handheld. So this means that there are Switch games that were 1080p in TV mode, but 720p handheld. Now they'll run 1080p, 60 frames per second, some of them, in handheld mode on the Switch 2, which some games did that already, but this kind of like streamlines it so that like basically all games will work better. So, excuse me. So there's like some examples like Digimon Cyber Story or Digimon Cyber Sleuth. That game, for instance, is like 1080p or close to 1080p, 60 frames per second on, handheld mode now. Same goes for like Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, things like that, right? There's some games it doesn't work with, like Hades 1, because they kind of optimized that for Switch and it was 720p either way. There's no difference between the two because I think it was 720p even docked, which was kind of ugly to look at. But a lot of Switch games now just work better, and they play better. The only caveat, though, is that because it's technically tricking the console into being in docked mode but handheld, you can't use like the motion control shit, like the gyro motion stuff. That stuff doesn't work really unless you like either connect a different controller and use it, like, you know, like put the switch on its little kickstand and do that. But like, some of the stuff is like,
is the gyro motion? I thought that's not in the controllers. That's in the actual Switch itself.
Well, no, that's not the point. The point is that when the game is in docked mode, that some of that stuff goes away. Oh. So it won't work because the game thinks it's docked, not that it's
What's
handheld.
the reasoning behind that,
So
though?
you have to... I just explained it. The game thinks it's docked, but it's actually handheld.
Okay,
There's some game, like for instance, like Mario Galaxy, right? On Mario Galaxy on the Switch, you can point at the screen with one of the little Joy-Cons, like you could in the Wii version, to like pick up stars in the screen.
Okay, you're talking about like laser stuff. I thought you meant gyro stuff. Okay.
Yeah, let me finish. So in handheld mode, what you would do was put your finger on the screen and then drag it around to get the stars. You can't do the finger thing with the stars in handheld mode if you're running the boost version, because it thinks that you're docked, so you can't touch the screen. So my bad. I didn't mean like some of the gyro motion stuff doesn't work, but really like the touch screen stuff doesn't work. Or the thing where you're supposed to point something at the screen, that stuff doesn't work. So yeah, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm still testing some things out. There's some games that look way better. Like Diablo 2 and 3 look significantly better handheld now. They used to look like kind of like butt, but they look really good now. A lot of games that basically any game that ran 1080p on screen but ran lesser than on Switch handheld doesn't do that anymore now. So it kind of takes away the need for some games to have a Switch 2 version, but it also explains some games why they need a Switch 2 version. Like for instance, there's never going to be a Switch 2 version of Hades 1, but for instance, that game would need like a full upgrade because it's 720p no matter what. It's always 60 frames per second, which is good, but 720p docked or handheld because, you know, that's what they did to optimize the game. But Monster Hunter Rise looks way better in handheld mode. It used to look like a blurry fucking mess in handheld mode. Monster Hunter Rise looks great now. So even Monster Hunter Generations looks really good. Some of the older Mario games. So like, yeah, if you have any Switch games and you have a Switch 2 and there's some Switch games you went to play and they looked a little blurry when you tried them a month or two ago or even a few weeks ago, go give it another shot. But you have to go into the settings and enable it. So you have to go to system and you have to scroll all the way down to handheld boost mode and then turn that on. They don't just turn it on for you. I know why they don't turn it on for you. It's kind of an experimental thing because some games won't work correctly or it won't work quite right. But you have to turn it on and it's a hidden setting. So if you're listening to this and you want to check it out, go to your system settings and check it out on Switch 2. Yeah, so you have to turn it on manually though. It doesn't just come on. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think this is kind of their way of like getting around the fact that some people won't update their games for Switch 2 or like they don't really have a reason to. Some games even just look better.
Being hacked, brother.
Yeah. Huh?
Somebody's gonna hack it for that.
Hack it for what?
So you could do that. So why not? They're just gonna like.
Oh, I'm sure somebody else already did it. Yeah, I'm sure somebody already did that. So. But like, I mean, that'd be kind of a funny reason to do that. But like, because some of these improvements are only marginal. Like some of them are really like not that good. Some of them are really good though. Like for instance, Metroid Dread looks 10 times better. Prince of Persia looks a lot better. So it depends what game you're playing. But there's some games it doesn't matter. Like I think somebody said Pikmin. It doesn't work for any of them. But you know, it just depends what game you pick. But and even like Super Mario Galaxy, they released a native version for Switch 2 or whatever, like a native updated version. And if you do like the Switch handheld mode with the original version of the game, it only goes with the 900p instead of 1080p, which to me is not much of a fucking difference. So like, you know, it just depends what you want to play. Good stuff though. I think I'm glad they did this. I'm surprised they didn't. They should have done this like 6 months ago. I'm kind of wondering why it took them that long to do this. Especially because it's not like super taxing on the Switch. What does that mean?
They can do whatever they want, whatever they want. They've got us by the balls. Okay. This is Nintendo we're talking about here. Do whatever they want when they want.
Okay. Yeah, but it's good stuff. Very happy with my games working a little better. So I'm gonna go play Metroid Prime Remastered. That one looks really good in handheld now. It looks basically like it does on the TV. So I can go ahead and play that now, and it'll look a lot better. There's some games I've been waiting to play because I wanted an update like this. So now that the update's out, I can go play my fucking games. So that's good.
I got a question.
What up?
What's Haley playing?
Stardew Valley. That's like mostly what she's playing recently.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Okay. Nope, that's it. I had a feeling.
You had a feeling
that she'd be playing Stardew Valley.
Why? Because I told you that we were playing it together?
Exactly why.
All right, you're
nobody
gets anything past you.
I mean, I've resigned to just saying it's probably good.
It's great. It's a great game. I think it's one of the best games to come out in the past like decade or two. It's really, really
Some people
good.
think it's one of the best games of all time.
I think so. I think it's up there. Like it's really good.
Yeah,
it's addictive. That's why I had to stop myself from playing it as much.
Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't. I mean, I guess I'll have to play it, but
you have it for free. You have it for free. It was on PS. It was on PS Plus like 2 months ago.
I just don't see the initial appeal of the game, but people love it. People love it, including you.
Yeah, maybe you should. It's you can try it for free. I don't know what else to tell you, bud. Yeah, man. Yeah. So that's Switch 2 is pretty good.
Fight.
This nigga loves interrupting me with buttons, bro. He just hear me talking and just not give a shit. What's the next topic?
You were saying about the Switch 2?
No, I wasn't saying anything. You didn't care. You pressed the button. You're good. What's the next thing?
All right, now this time I'm not gonna push the button until I'm 100% sure you're done talking. Okay. Ubisoft is ending game development at the Ghost Recon studio, Red Storm Entertainment, and have laid off a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't know. I added this one just because I think Ubisoft's about to get sold or something. Like this company is just not. It's not happening like recently. I know that they announced a bunch of stuff. I think didn't they announce some Assassin's Creed thing they announced recently. I don't remember, but like they're just not. Something's going on over there, bro. They're not doing very well. But yeah, the Ghost Recon is getting shut. Yeah, they shut all that shit down, and they also said that they don't have any desire to like use this studio to like make any more Ghost Recon games. Basically, they're saying like we don't want to make any fucking more of those. I think the last thing that happened with them is that
it was 15, 16, 17 years. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I mean they've been making like The Division and shit. It doesn't matter. My favorite part of this article is according to the publisher, the structure was created to facilitate an increased focus on open world games and games as a service while accelerating its investment in quote unquote player facing generative AI. So that's why they're downsizing, is to focus on AI. That's what they've basically been saying. That's why they've been shutting down all their studios and shitting the bed, is that so they can make way for AI. I don't know what the fuck they think. I don't know, man. They're just doing shit.
They're saving money so they can spend it somewhere else. That's all.
Just stupid shit.
I mean,
absolutely baffling. Like what these people are doing with these companies. I don't know, man. But shout out to Ghost Recon. I guess we're never getting another one of those again.
Probably not. Yep.
I guess that's just not happening ever again.
Yeah. Well, too bad. Good. Rest in peace, the Recon and Tom Clancy. Tom Clancy will be forgotten. Gen Z will not know.
Oh yeah.
And Gen Alpha, whatever the next one is, no one will know what Tom Clancy is without the games. People don't read his books. I mean, people do read his books, but young people don't read books, period, like generally.
And to be fair, he barely has anything to do with the games, to be fair.
Doesn't matter. His name's on it. Doesn't matter. It's always Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon 11-12.
Ghost Recon. Yeah, no, listen. Rest in peace, Ubisoft. You will be dearly missed. I don't know what else you're doing now besides Assassin's Creed, but I don't think you'll be doing that much longer anyway. So we'll see. They're gonna get bought by EA or some shit. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna be in somebody else's pocket soon. I don't know how. They put out fucking 50 games a year. I think they have some money left. Apparently they're closing things to make way for AI. So who fucking knows anymore?
Okay. Am I good to hit that 3 button?
Yeah, I'm not talking, so.
And 3 times 1. What is it? 3! Yeah, that's a magic number.
Hey, guess what, man? Guess what? You're supposed to say what? Guess what?
What?
Crimson Desert came out this week, man. Oh my god! You know what? We've talked about this game a couple of times. Crimson Desert could be the best game of all time. Could be the greatest scam of all time. That's what was looking at. What's going on? So Crimson Desert comes out, very highly anticipated, very overly hyped game. Everyone, every YouTuber's got a video about it. And on day 1, right? So a lot of the review copies went out a week or 2 before, because the game is so big. And day 1, game is out. People are buying, and IGN. Well, some people release reviews. IGN released a preview, because they hadn't finished the game, and they gave in their preview, they gave the game a 6, and that started.
Wait! Pause. They're giving scores and previews.
Well, yeah, I don't know why they did that, but it said if I were to score it now, I would give it a 6.
That's dumb. Okay, he should. Okay, whatever happened after that is probably his fault. But yeah, continue. Okay.
Well, to me, first of all, okay, if you're gonna give a preview of your review, because he hadn't finished it, he's like, I'm 120 hours in or something, and I still have at least a quarter of the game to go. And he goes through the game and stuff that's happened, and at one point he lost 20 hours or 15 hours or something of gameplay just because there's a glitch in the game that he couldn't progress anymore, so he had to load an old save from before he started a particular quest just to, keep going. So he gives it a 6. He gives it a before the review 6, okay? And of course, people were upset about this, mainly because the next day, the stock price of the company that does Crimson Desert and Black Desert, what are they called?
The Desert Company.
Yeah, what's it called? that one I was talking about. Pearl Abyss.
The Desert Company. Pearl Abyss. Their names.
So their stock dropped 30%. Basically in one day, because on Metacritic their review rating score from the actual critics was sitting at a 80. It was about 79, 80. It was going back and forth between that, and they had 50, 40 reviews or so, and people were going nuts online. The people who were super hyping the game up are these game critics are fucking stupid. They don't even know how to play games.
You think they were invested in the company?
They all this stuff. Other people are like, "See, I told you the game is fucking fake, and it doesn't exist, and it's all hoopla." And I saw this had to be on Tuesday or maybe Wednesday. I don't know. I saw so many, maybe Thursday actually. There's so many videos there's the problem with games journalism and the problem with do game critics have too much weight, and how you're destroying this company with your review,
just dick sucking.
And you didn't even finish the game yet, and you didn't even, just because these people, we all know they're really bad at games, and they people are gonna lose their jobs over this, which I always think is funny because these people gamers in general actually love when people lose their jobs, because all gamers love to do.
Yeah, it's their favorite thing.
It's the best thing on the planet. If a High Guard comes out or a Concord comes out, people don't even play these games. And the same with Crimson Desert. If you look now, a lot of comments are coming from people who don't even play the game.
They aren't interested in playing the game in the first place. Yeah.
they're just happy to jump on some bandwagon of this thing is awesome or this thing sucks, and just like go full hog into it. You know, like people loving High Guard, right? Game announced at the Game Awards, comes out a month later, is dead a month after that. Like, all these people are losing their jobs, but the way we talk about the game is, oh, look how bad they did. They don't understand gamers. Their AAA is triple dead. You know, all this bullshit.
Yeah.
But when it's a game they like and they're super excited for, oh, there's something wrong with reviews now. Like, you know, they gave High Guard a 7. Can you believe it? So,
no, yeah, it's kind of disappointing because, like, one, I was confused because I didn't realize that games weren't allowed to like just be okay anymore. I don't know. This reminds me of when you remember when what was that game? Biomutant came out, and a few other games like around that time. People used to say, like, you know, these games are just fucking terrible. Like, nobody wants to play this. It's like lackluster. And if you actually played what's it called? What was the fucking game? Yeah, if you actually played Biomutant, that game wasn't bad. It wasn't like a terrible game. The game was fine. It was actually pretty damn fun. I liked it quite a bit. But you had like, there's like this thing now with gamers where if something isn't like a 10 out of 10 off rip, or if it's not like, you know, the first coming of Jesus, or it's not, you know, the latest Capcom game to get a 10 or something like that, it's shit. It's not good. We don't know why nobody's playing this. Like, I don't know why you guys are lying about it, type of thing. And then here's this game. You hyped it all the way to the hell, which I understand. It looked really cool. I still think it looks fine. I still want to play it. I'm kind of, did you buy it?
no, not yet.
No. Okay. So I'm kind of worried about buying it because the PS5 performance isn't like fantastic. It looks okay. Performance mode looks terrible, but quality mode looks fine. Performance mode looks like somebody smeared Vaseline all over your TV. But for people on PS5 Pro, the game looks great. So, you know, if you got PS5 Pro, more power to you. I may not be purchasing it until they give a good update. But I feel like what I saw from my end was, I saw that IGN thing. I didn't see they gave it a score. I thought that was weird. I also saw a lot of 6s and 7s.
They technically didn't and I feel give it a score. It's just on the if you looked at it on a headline or on like the app or something, like you've got the splash for it. It says, if I were to score it now, it would be a 6 out of 10. They didn't actually like put a thing like score right now 6 out of 10. It's just like a graphic.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, but even then, I don't think that they shouldn't have said anything. I feel like if you're going to preview something, to say you're previewing it. Like I feel like that's not smart. What I saw though was not a lot of people saying this game was terrible. Here's the thing, right? This isn't like a Kong.
Well, some people
Island,
did. If you look at those reviews,
and it's shitty. Yeah,
there are a couple
people are.
But there are just as
people
many
are dramatic.
10s and 5 and like 1s as there were like hundreds. Like some people gave hundreds.
Exactly though.
Like,
but that's the thing. Exactly.
Game.
There's no such thing as like a just good game or just okay game or something like that. It's either the worst fucking thing you've ever played, or it's, you know, really good and like everybody should play it. And I feel like nowadays, if it's not one of those, nobody wants to play it. It's like, oh, you're not playing the best game ever made, or this game didn't hook me within the first fucking 10 minutes. Ass. It's not good. It's just not. It's not a good game. I don't know why they put it out. And I feel like that's kind of the reception this game is getting. This game showed us what it was before. Yes, trailers make games look better than they're supposed to. That's kind of the fucking point of a trailer, right? I don't understand. I feel like some people were waiting for this game to come out and were waiting for it to not be perfect so they could give it a bad score. And I feel like other people were so invested in this game, they wanted it to only have a good score. So if the game didn't have a good score, they're going to be pissed. And if it had a bad score, they're going to be upset too. So I don't know. I feel like what the truth is that this game is probably good in its own right, and there are people who are really going to like it, but it's not, you know, blockbuster 10 out of 10 game, but that doesn't mean it's bad or that it's like the most disappointing game of all time. But I've literally seen people call it like the most disappointing game ever. And it's like, we have games that are literally 1 out of 10s, like the past few years, that were games that were developed for years that were terrible. and this is not one of those. So I feel like trying to treat it like that is like dishonest, and also trying to treat it like anybody who doesn't like it or thinks that it's not like excellent is also dishonest. I feel like it's just like the game came out and it's okay, and like that's fine, but like I feel like people are literally just trying to be like, no, but like the games journalists, they hate video games, and we were waiting for this to, I don't know. And the whole like we don't like games journalists because they don't agree with this thing is like really old and tired, and like I don't really know why these guys expect anybody to have like, you know, any sympathy towards them. But like, yeah, I'm not feeling it, man. I'm not feeling it.
All right. Well, so the YouTuber people's reviews came out, and I think they're generally more positive, but they're also, I think, the same, pretty mixed. Excuse me. The game has a lot of problems, but they generally enjoy it. I agree. I think the whole games journal, there's no difference in a YouTube guy and a games journalist in you listening to what they're having to say and determining why you play a game. Like, games journalist has no, they're not beholden to anything that the YouTuber is. Yeah. Like, if you think
that's what I'm not understanding.
They get the games for free. The YouTubers get the games for free. They didn't buy the game and play it for 200 hours in the first 8 hours of the day. That's literally impossible. They got the game for free, just like the games journalists. They also want people to watch their channel for money, just like the game journalists get paid for the article. It's the same. There's no difference. I know how they try to make it sound like there's some big difference. Like, you can't trust these people, but you can trust these people. At the end of the day, the game seems to be a decent game. It's a game where if you like MMO stuff, but single player, so basically, you know, lots of RPG stuff and quests in this huge world, but you don't like playing with other people, then it's probably a game you'll like. If you don't mind on PlayStation, it doesn't like run badly on PlayStation. It just doesn't look as good as it does on PC.
Yeah, it does. Looks good on Pro. Looks good on PS5 Pro.
Pro,
base PS5. I would say if you're gonna play it on base PS5, quality mode's the way to go. If you could stand how blurry it is on performance, go ahead. But quality mode looked fine to me. I didn't see any, like, it runs like 30 something frames per second. Like, it looks fine. I didn't really see an issue. So.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fine. So, you know, I think the game will do fine. They're gonna be updating it. I think they're already updating it. I think the idea of the game is very cool and fun. You know, I'll pick it up and play it. But I thought it was just funny that people freaked out so bad about bad reviews. And then if you looked at the Metacritic reviews aren't even that bad. Like, most of the reviews are over an 80. It's just you had a couple of people who really hated the game. And IGN's pre-review, it wasn't even included in the Metacritic score that people were saying was ruined because of their output. Like, that wasn't even
like, what are y'all talking about
in the score? That, and also the whole thing, the stock price dropped 30%. That's the stock market, baby. You're dealing with the richest people in the world, basically gambling every day. That's what it is. Like, the stock market, you know, everyone's got money in the stock market. It's like 85% of that money belongs to the top 10% of the richest people on the planet. So, like, who cares? Who gives? Like, it's whatever.
Yeah,
it's a stock market. Doesn't mean anything except they're gonna make more or less money. You know, if people get fired, that's kind of that's the environment we've created for that to happen. So whatever. Anyway, Crimson Desert out now. You should probably decide if you want it or not.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
And also this week was the announcement and reveal of DLSS5, NVIDIA's new DLSS implementation. which uses AI. They revealed this at GD, one of the GDs. It was either the Qs or the Cs. I don't remember.
Yeah, but we didn't really see anything from it until they really revealed it with this Digital Foundry video. That's when everybody actually saw it, and we actually got to see what it looked like. So before that, nobody had actually seen what it looked like. So we have DLSS5. So people who don't know, DLSS, what is it? Deep learning super sampling, right? And this is something that's been it's been around for, I would say, yeah, I was right. 2019. It's been around for about 7 years, right? It's a thing that NVIDIA had came up with, which, you know, is basically meant to make games look like they're running at a higher resolution than they actually are. So, like, let's say your PC can only render something up to, like, you know, 720p or, you know, 1080p, but you want to hit 4K. DLSS will help you hit 4K, at least, like, in a way that, like, you can see the 4K, but your game is not actually running at 4K. It's running at 1080p, right? It's a way to, like, basically make your PC games look better than your PC can actually render them. Awesome, cool. I like DLSS. I think it makes sense what it is, right? To me, it's one of the better features to happen. It was one of the better features to be on graphics cards, besides, like, you know, how we all got obsessed with ray tracing, even though, in my opinion, ray tracing is kind of fucking useless most of the time, right? Sometimes it's cool, most of the time it's not. DLSS5 is NVIDIA's newest one, and it includes AI, like Shavar said. And you might have seen the videos that have been freaking people out. If you haven't, go look up Digital Foundry DLSS5 and look at that first thumbnail that has is it what's homegirl's name? Is it Grace? Is that what the girl's name is in RE9? Yeah, her and Rose look exactly the fucking same, so I keep getting them confused, even though Rose isn't until like 20 years later. But yeah, there's this screenshot of Rose from RE9, and then they put DLSS5 is off, and they put DLSS5 on, and then you can literally see, like, you know, the entire game changes, right? The backgrounds look entirely different. It's a lot brighter. There's a lot more details and things, but the uncanny part is that it completely changes what Rose's face looks like. I mean, Grace's face looks like. And it looks very odd in motion. So in this Digital Foundry video, they barely show anything in motion. They show a few things, even though some of those things look eerie. So the way that NVIDIA described it, and they kind of have shot themselves in the foot because they've described it multiple different ways, is that they're saying it's not a filter, it's generative AI going through and, like, changing things as the game moves along, right? So it's not just slapping a filter on it, allegedly, according to them, right? According to their other employees, that's not exactly what's happening. They're not getting their literature correctly. So there's the NVIDIA CEO is going, it's not a filter. You guys don't understand what's going on. And then when, you know, NVIDIA reps are asked the things, they're like, yeah, it's basically a filter. It takes a single frame and then kind of applies it to the rest of the game. So the way it should work is that developers should be feeding, you know, what it would do is the developers would get their hands on this tool, right? Which, by the way, they won't yet, because Shavar, I don't know if you caught this. Do you know what system they were using to run DLSS5? Like what specs they had?
Had two GPUs, 5090s.
Two fucking 5090s. Two 5090s. Do you know anybody with one 5090?
But that's just for display purposes. That's not how it would run when it actually comes out.
Exactly. So one, we can't expect it to even look like this when a regular person uses it when it's available later this year, right? So it's not going to look anything like this in several different ways, right? So the biggest criticism of this is
okay,
that...
hold on. Okay. First of all, okay. It's running on two GPUs because that's how they have it set up. This is like a test and display version. It's not at all planned to run on two GPUs when you get it, but it's planned to run the same way. So it would look the same. If you had a 5090, it would look the same. It wouldn't be like, oh, I need two 5090s for that. It's just how it's set up for the display.
But then why did they use two if you don't need two to do it? I'm confused. Then what was the point?
That's just how they set up for the test demo purposes. That's all. That's just how it's set up.
Wouldn't you want to show people something they could actually... Wouldn't you want?
But they weren't showing that. They were showing DLSS on, DLSS off. They weren't showing, oh, this is a system that can run DLSS. That's why it wasn't like at the presentation with the thing. That's why it was behind doors with people, journalists and stuff, to show, because that's the point. It wasn't. So when you get it,
yeah, I mean, obviously they weren't supposed to show it to us. You saw what happened, but so they're showing us two 5090s, right? Like whatever reason Shavar has for it, they're showing this off, and they show this haunting image of Grace from RE9, and it's one of those things where it's not just that it's like AI slop looking, it's the fact that it's like it completely changes what the game looks like. And it looks like those filters where you would just say, hey, AI, make me look better. Like my wife has coworkers who put their faces through AI filters, and this is the type of shit it comes out with, right? So it looks bad. It does not look good. It barely looks good in motion. And that's the reason why in this Digital Foundry video, you don't really see much in motion. They show it a couple times, but it's all like within the span of like, I would say a few seconds. They don't ever show you anything that isn't human either. There's a bunch of monsters in Resident Evil 9. They don't show us any of those. They don't show us any zombies. They barely show anything in motion. All the Starfield stuff, they show us maybe 10 seconds of a face in motion. So they know the shit looks bad. So in my opinion, this is something that was shown a little too early. And it was also shown poorly, because now they're going around saying, well, developers will be able to take this and like adjust it so that it doesn't nuke the art style. And it's like, great, if that was the case, then why didn't you show us this? So they also responded and said, you know, somebody asked them, hey, is this like, you know, a frame? Like, is it quote unquote effectively taking a single 2D frame as an input to create the output frame? And NVIDIA rep said, yeah, it's exactly what it's doing. It's trained in understand complex scene semantics, and then use that to analyze a specific frame, and then it just applies that to the whole game, right? So that's why we're seeing stuff like the RE9 thing with, you know, Grace's face just gets completely nuked. It looks like, you know, the weird AI ads you get all the time on websites where it's the women who look exactly the same as one another. I saw people trying to argue with this, saying that the actress who they based Grace's face off of looks like the AI or the DLSS5 version. She does not. I don't know why they keep saying that. A lot of people were trying to say that that was where they got the date. No, she doesn't. Like, I'm sorry. She does, really? Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me? She looks like the DLSS image. Are we just fucking around now?
What's her name?
Julia Pratt. Yeah, that does not fucking look like her. Like, no, don't give me that. That does not look like her. She does not look like that fucking filter. I'm not dealing with y'all with this. All right. People are saying that Julia Pratt, go Google her, put her next side by side next to the DLSS5 thing. People are saying that that's what she looks like, and trying to give NVIDIA way too much credit and going, well, obviously it fed data from the original actress's face into the system. No, it didn't. It put a bunch of shit on her face, right? So the thing is that they're lying in all of this. They're saying things like, oh, well, it's using data that the game gave it to, you know, make the things look better. No, it's not, because if it was, it would still look like the same art style, right? It wouldn't look like you literally put somebody's different fucking face into a game like it does with all the examples they use with the Oblivion remaster, and they also used it with Starfield. And once again, go watch this video. They don't show it in motion for very long. And some of the times they do, it looks really bad. It looks like a static image. It looks like those old AI static images trying to move. There's a clip they used of Oblivion where a guy blinks and his face turns into horror, into the fucking like body horror, because the DLSS5 can't figure out what to do when he blinks. Like, it's not, I feel like they took a really cool thing, DLSS, and they kind of just shoved AI into it, and they're not being honest about what's happening, because they're saying that, well, yes, it has been, but now I feel like what they're not telling us now is that it's not just using data from the game. It's obviously using all of the shit that generative AI does, because that's what generative AI does. It uses data from other sources. They're lying to our faces and trying to say that this reason that Grace looks so much different in the DLSS5 is because, well, it's based on data that was fed to it from the game. That's not fucking true. It's not. There's no place in the game where she looks like this. There's no place in the game where they say add eyeshadow and make her eyebrows cuntier. There's no thing in the game where it says give her lip filler and make her hair a little longer. Like, it's like, I feel like the thing is that they're not being honest about the fact that, yes, it is generative AI, and it's also not using the art style. It's not using what the game's giving it. It is effectively slapping a fucking filter on top of stuff, which is why everything in that video looked the same. And once again, they're going to need to show me like a few minutes of gameplay or a couple minutes of gameplay, not off screen, and with something that isn't human in it, for me to believe that this isn't just garbage. Because once again, didn't see a single zombie, didn't see a single enemy, didn't see anything moving out of place. The only non-human things we saw were things in Oblivion, and those look pretty fucking bad. So I feel like there's a few things that happened here. They showed it way too early. And they're also lying about things they probably don't have features for. Like they keep saying, oh, well, we can let people adjust it so that it doesn't hit the face as much. We have seen no proof of that. We don't know if that's even true. Like they have a video of the fucking Hogwarts game opening. They turned a 15-year-old man look 35 because that's what the AI filter decided to do, because that's what they've taught it to do. So I feel like this is NVIDIA kind of leaning way too heavily on AI and putting out something that was way too early in the process, was gonna be fucking criticized no matter what because it's AI. But then on top of that, they just did it poorly. Like I will be haunted by this Grace image as long as I live, because this is what they're trying to tell us is quote unquote better looking. Because here's the thing, in that same image, the background and stuff looks hyper realistic, which is cool because it's kind of what the game is going for with its like backgrounds and how things look in the background. The art style on faces and shit, though, completely nuked. It's not even the same game anymore. When they showed us different things from Skyrim, fucking Starfield, Oblivion, and RE9, they all might as well have had the same art style. Like, it did not keep anything about the original game. So I feel like that's the crux of it, is that it's turned up way too much, and it's using as much shit as it can to make it look hyper realistic, not look like a fucking video game with better graphics. And I feel like that's where we're kind of losing the plot, is like it adds stuff. And I feel like that's what they're not being honest about, is that they keep being like, oh, it's just refining the image. No, it's adding a bunch of shit. It added dark roots to Grace's hair. It added eyeliner. It added eye bags. It added a different nose. It added new lips. It added all of these things that are not in the game's original data. And I feel like they're being dishonest about the fact that this isn't just using game data like it's supposed to be doing. It's using some generic generative AI to fill in blanks that aren't there. So Digital Foundry, I think that they're such, tech hounds. They didn't think about the fact that this would come off so poorly. So I feel bad that they got like flack for this. But really, it's NVIDIA for showing off like this, like really sloppy, like weird, like uncanny, like technology. I showed this to my wife. I didn't even tell her what I was showing her. I was like, I just want to get your opinion on this. I turned the video on and showed them like, turning on the DLSS5 thing. And she was like, this just looks really weird. Like, she's like, it looks great, but it also looks weird. Like, it doesn't look right. So, I feel like this is just like not a good thing overall in terms of how they're showing it to us. And they're like, this is what games are supposed to look like. And it's not what games are supposed to look like. It is bullshit. It's like basically, I'm not slapping a filter on it and slapping a filter on it. Like, they're just lying to our faces at this point.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, DLSS has always been AI generation. That's nothing new since 2017, 2016, whenever DLSS started. It's always been AI generation. And adding frames, adding rays from you train AI to make a thing. That's not different. People saying it's a filter, I mean, sure, you can say that's a filter. I don't think that would change. That doesn't really dictate what the thing looks like as far as like whether it's a filter or not, or if it's whatever. All DLSS is trained, and then it takes a frame in the thing. It takes a single frame in the game, it takes it into the AI, it puts something out. I mean, that if you want to call that a filter, that's fine. That's a filter. I think the problem with it is that it's clearly generating too much, and it's probably not just trained on video game stuff. I think that's the
exactly
main issue. NVIDIA doesn't call it a filter because of how you want to define a filter. They've never called DLSS a filter before, so they're not going to call it a filter now. DLSS does more than filtering. It also does the ray tracing. It also does the super resolutions. So there's that. I think they need to. I think the idea is there. I mean, they've had the idea for a while, but they need to make things not, as apparently. It just seems disjointed from what the original intent. I thought the Starfield stuff, for the most part, looked fine. Besides the AI feel of it, I do think there's use for it. I think the actress does look like the generated model, and that's probably the problem.
You smoking crack?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm looking at the picture of the here. I'm looking at a picture of that. It looks like it. I mean, whatever.
You're smoking crack.
Sure. But it's clear that it's taking data or trained on data outside of games. It should be trained on data within games, and it's okay if it's trained on a few things, especially environment stuff. But I think when you're talking about artistic design and intention, I don't think, like, if you were to run this on a Bloodborne, let it run the way that it runs, I don't think people would enjoy the way it looks. Or if you were to run this on Minecraft in the same way that it's done here, I don't think people would say, it'd probably look like Minecraft the movie and not actually Minecraft, right? So I think they need to fix those things. I think that's, and it is just a demo.
And one more time, we don't know what it looks like on anything that isn't human, and I feel like that's what's kind of fucking me up. Is they're not going to show us the big creepy monster they show in every RE9 thing for some reason. They're going to show us something that doesn't represent RE9 at all. Grace standing in public in the middle of a crowded street. I understand it's to show like all the shit off, but like, why not show something else? Like, why are you showing RE9 if you're not going to show anything that represents what RE9 is? I feel like that's kind of misleading and weird. Like, what's the fucking point then? And it's like, because the technology doesn't work well on that shit yet, and they don't want to show that off yet.
Well, I would assume it would be masked out. I mean, companies are gonna use DLSS. Developers are gonna use it. People will use it because at some point, some people are gonna like the look, some people aren't, which is fine. I think they'll get to it. I'm not like super worried. I think Digital Foundry should have at least addressed the elephant in the room, which they didn't do. During the main video. I think, and it's clear NVIDIA and people are kind of out of touch with the more, like, you have a general populace of people who would be fine with their game being that way and looking that way. Look at Arc Raiders and how it's more about the message than anything. Arc Raiders has a ton of AI voice acting in it that
they took it out.
Most of the community supported because they love their game so much. But eventually when they removed it for real voice actors, people were so happy because the AI voice acting was horrible. Like, it's more about the messaging. I think they got their messaging wrong from a company standpoint here, but also the masses will eat up anything as long as you make it look fine. Just like Arc Raiders, the game, biggest game of all time, all that stuff, and they've now lost like 350,000 players. Not that the game is bad, but it's all about the movement, the hype. So we'll see. DLSS, I'm sure they'll change it a little bit. I'm sure they'll change it to some extent. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be as bad as it looked during the demos.
I hope not, because like that shit looked terrible. And I mean, like, I feel like what I was kind of annoyed by throughout the week is people trying to act like it didn't look terrible and being like, oh, well, you guys just don't want the future of gaming. This was like, I'm just gonna say again, this is obviously something that was showed off way too early and sloppily to like show people, hey, look at this cool thing our technology can do, to people who like how the AI stuff looks, right? And I feel like it just kind of got botched because, like you said, there are people who definitely would. There are people I saw praising it. There are people who are like, "Oh, RE9 looks way better now. Like that's how I would want to play the game," and that's fine for those people, right? But I feel like what really like kicks it off and makes it worse is that it's like it just doesn't look good, man. And I feel like what would really fix it is getting rid of any source that isn't fucking not the game itself. Because I feel like what we were supposed to be doing with this technology, this DLSS stuff, is just making it better so that the games looked better within the art style of the game. And I feel like now what we've done instead is just say, fuck it, make it all look the same because you idiots would like that. And I feel like that's kind of the message they're sending is like, yeah, sure. And then only when people got upset did they go, oh, but the developers can take control of it and they'll be able to do it. Meanwhile, the developers who had their games featured in there, I think people from RE9 were like, we didn't know they were going to do that shit, and we don't like the way it looks. So it's like they're not even talking to the people whose games they're using either.
That's not
like,
true.
It's
no, they absolutely talked to Capcom. Capcom said yes. Whoever's in the studio fucking drawing hairs on balls, they don't have any pull for anything. Nobody's gonna come talk to them about, oh, can we? They talk to the bosses.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck the people who work on the game. I know, right? That's right, Shavar. Yeah.
No,
fuck
that's not what I said. But to say that, oh, they didn't actually consult with the people, that's not true. They went to people in charge.
Fuck the artists.
Said
yeah.
yes. I don't know how you're getting that from what I said, but that's not what I said.
You said the person who you made fun of the people who make the game and said the people who draw hairs on balls don't get to hear it. So yeah, like you're right. The people who actually work on the game didn't get to hear about it. The bigwigs at Capcom got to hear about it and said, yeah, for sure, go use our shit. Yes, exactly to my point. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm making fun of them, but
you said that they draw hairs on balls. Of course, they're not going to know. How is that making fun of them?
I still don't get how that's making fun.
In case you didn't know, making jokes at people's expense is making fun of them. I don't know if you like are like stupid or something. I don't know, like.
I don't see how there's no expense. They draw hair on stuff. They build character models. They make concept art. They don't. Make
balls is
decisions
the same thing as stuff. Anyway, so yeah, exactly. Which is bad. I'm trying to say that that's bad. Yes, exactly. The people who actually make the game were not consulted, and they are upset about that. Yes. What does that change about what I said that you pointed out that they're not as valuable as the CEO of the company? What does that change?
Well, to say the people who make the game, you mean the artists. If you want to say the artists, sure. But the people who make the game were consulted. That's all I'm saying.
The CEOs at Capcom who make the game. Right. Okay, got it.
No, Capcom as a company was consulted.
And you know this. Yes, absolutely. All
yeah,
right.
we do know. Yes.
Oh, we know. Okay. Anyway, it looks like shit. I feel like they shouldn't have showed this off, and I don't think this is going to go well when they launch it. People won't trust it unless it's the people who like all the AI shit. So I don't know. It's disappointing because once again, to me, this seems like somebody leaning on AI when they could have like actually like once again, DLSS has always been AI, but leaning on generative AI stuff to do something where you can go, look, I can make this look as realistic as possible, which is not the point of what a video game is supposed to look like. But we've gotten so heavy into that graphics war bullshit that, yeah, that is what video games mean to some people, is how realistic can we make this look. So I don't know, man. Very, very disappointing. I hope that this is not what it looks like when they actually get it out there, and that we're not looking at like, or once again, show me what it looks like in motion. Show me that the reticle doesn't just start smearing across the screen when I start aiming at things. Show me that what I saw in the video where the lines were moving all over the place and the game looked really weird and blurry and buggy in places isn't real. Because that's what I saw in any of the motion that I saw, is just the shit was trying to catch up with what was going on. So I don't know, man. Another thing about the filter thing, I don't care if it's not technically a filter. If it looks like a filter, you did a bad fucking job. Because nobody was saying that about previous DLSS. Nobody was going, oh, the DLSS just slaps a filter on it. Yeah, because that's not what it was doing. So if it looks like it's slapping a filter on it, maybe take some of the 50 sources you're taking from shit to put it in there and like take them out.
Okay.
Like make it actually just work off of what the game is giving you.
All right. Well, that's the show. Did you have anything you wanted to recommend?
Yeah, play Absalom. I really recommend that. It's a great game. Definitely one of the best so far. I think it came out last year, but one of the best so far this year. IMO. And yeah, that's really it as far as recommendations go. Play that. Play Tsushima. If you're looking at Resident Evil and want to get into it, if you don't want to jump in with 9, which I don't know why you wouldn't, pick up another one. All the remakes they did are really good. I can't find a single one that's bad. People say 3 isn't good because it takes stuff out. It still looks good, but yeah, that's what I recommend.
All right, I recommend you go watch some wrestling. All right, well, thanks for listening to the show. This has been the Super Chevy Brothers podcast, and we'll talk to you next week.